Hey there, my dear beloved brothers and sisters. Hey, this is Matthew, Mr. Hope Richards-Hagen with Phenomenal Marriage, bringing you the next installment in Marriage Peace University. Today we're talking about the missing piece in your relationship puzzle. Most people really struggle in relationships because they don't understand what's happening. They're running their relationship backwards, literally. This is a critical piece to understand. This is the missing piece. We aren't talking about small incremental changes. We're talking about a quantum leap. We're talking about going from the Stone Age campfire to nuclear power. This is a small step for man's behavior and a giant leap for your marriage. Couples are trying to have a great relationship by drawing from their spouse and only responding in love when they feel like they're full. The truth is, you can only draw so much from someone before you run them dry. We are literally standing in the yard telling the grass to grow, and then we'll water it. We're saying, let me withdraw from my bank account, and I will deposit later. That doesn't work in any other area of our lives. Why do we think it will in our relationship? The reason is it's because this is the way we were raised. This is the way we've been taught. This is who we are in Adam. You see, we were made in God's image. In Genesis 1:26, it says, let us make man in our image. However, Eve listened to the serpent, took of the fruit, ate it, and gave it to Adam, and he willingly ate it in disobedience to God. Man walked in the garden in fellowship with God, delighting in his presence, delighting in his love. When man sinned, instantly, because of sin, he was cut off from the source of love, which is God himself. Man went from being in the presence of love to being in the need of love. From that moment, men and women, instead of being secure as sons and daughters, are desperately searching for value and identity from things and from people around them horizontally, instead of relaxing into who they are as children of God vertically. God the Father sent Jesus into the world to buy us back into relationship with the Father. Jesus didn't come into the world to take us to heaven when we die, which is true, but that's not why he came. He came to buy us back into relationship with the Father. We're no longer looking for things or other people for us to be okay horizontally. We're complete in him. Here's the way marriage works in the wisdom of the world. You draw from your spouse and you seek to be full enough to give back. Over time, as both of you do this, your love tanks become exhausted. You both become starving, frustrated, and empty. You're both clawing each other, trying to get your needs met, unaware that you're hurting the one you love, the one you're committed to. Here's the shift. Jesus said, if you can see right, you can be right. It's like a lens. Matthew 6:22 and 23. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, the whole body shall be full of light. But if thine eye be evil, the whole body shall be full of darkness. If the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? Everything in my life, including my marriage, even if it's crummy, is to conform me to the image of Christ. Transformation comes when instead of rejecting the crummy, we press into it with thanksgiving and look for the blessing. It's a mental shift. Romans 8:28 and 29. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are the called according to his purpose. For whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his Son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren. We are all familiar with Romans 8:28, but I'll bet a large percentage of us don't understand why it's true. All things work together for good because everything is forming us and shaping us into the image of Christ. The next thing to understand is there are two kinds of wisdom, the wisdom that is from the world and the wisdom from above. The wisdom that is from above is pure and peaceable and gentle and easy to be entreated. That's from James 3:17. This wisdom we get by renewing our minds, Romans 12:2. Where it says that we're to go to the God the Father and draw from him. Never again will we be drinking from a dry cup. In John 4, Jesus said, if you knew who you were talking to, you would ask of him, and he would give you living water. I wake up to draw from the Lord and show up to love and serve. My spouse won't always be having a good day, but I can always choose to respond in love, and that, my friend, changes everything. I remember a funny story where a man woke up and rolled over and asked his wife, so, is today going to be a good day? It's kind of funny, but it's sad to live like that and let your spouse's temperament determine how you're doing. It's really idolatry. We're to love and serve God. If you're dependent on your spouse, you're on thin ice. You will always be only doing as good as they're doing you, and you'll always be just a moment away from totally breaking down. Putting your spouse on the top of the chart sets you both up to fail. When we put God on the top and draw from Him, then we're secure as to our value and identity. We can freely love and serve our spouse. That, my friend, is how you build a winning marriage. I want to note that this idea really scares a lot of people. We're afraid that if I do this, I'll end up empty and alone. After all, who will take care of me? First, you were never made for you. You were made for the Lord, for His glory, for His honor, for His kingdom. Jesus said in Matthew 16, if you're going to come after me, you have to do one thing. You have to deny yourself. You were never made for you. I was never made for me. You were never made to be fulfilled in Adam. A man wrapped up in himself makes for a really small package. When you live selfishly, you're going to reap corruption, which is death. Galatians 6, 7, and 8 says, be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that sows to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that sows to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. When I demand my own way and take from my wife, I end up reaping death. I don't want that. I want to reap life. So I sow love into her. This is a whole different perspective that you have probably never even heard of or seen before. This is the start of your journey. Congratulations, you're on your way. Now I want you to go in the community and process what a difference this is going to make for you and your marriage. Knowledge is power. Applying it creates transformation. And I'll see you in the next episode.